Good morning. We're in that time in Lent, and that year of Lent, of the long stories. This week it's the woman at the well, and next week it's the man born blind, which is even longer. Much has been and should be made of the fact that in this story, the person Jesus has the longest conversation in the Bible with is a woman and a Samaritan and someone with a past that she felt compelled to hide. And as the story goes on, progressively, we see that she's a person of insight and spunk. But I want to zoom in on what she says to Jesus and what he says to her about himself. And the woman said to him, "I know that Messiah is coming, who is called Christ. When he comes, he will proclaim all things to us." Jesus said to her, "I am he, the one who is speaking to you." Throughout the Gospels, all four, Jesus hints at, suggests, and sometimes outright avoids being identified with Israel's hoped-for Messiah. Some have called this hesitancy to disclose his identity the messianic secret. Many reasons are put forth as to why Jesus might do that. One is he wants to be able to walk into town. And if word of the Messiah gets out, and these miracles that follow him or proceed from him, there's no way he's going to be able to go anywhere. Another is that he doesn't want the witness of the demons who are often shouting out who Jesus really is. In Luke's gospel, and demons also came out of many, crying, "You are the Son of God." But he rebuked them and would not allow them to speak, because they knew that he was the Christ. He doesn't want their witness at all. Another idea is that Jesus meant something very definite about what it means to be God's Messiah. And he knew people would not like it, and that they would misinterpret those words. Messiah means anointed one in Hebrew, what the woman called Jesus. Christ is the Greek word, and it means almost the exact same thing. In Hebrew tradition, kings were anointed ones. And so one big misconception Jesus works hard to avoid was imagining the Messiah as a great king, like David, the great warrior king of old, who rid Israel of all her enemies by defeating them with the sword. On Good Friday, we will see a conversation, we will hear it between Pilate and Jesus towards the end, very close to the end. And in it you can see Pilate wanting to know if Jesus thinks he's one of these warrior kings, one of these those messiahs. because he has a lot to say if Jesus is a warrior king, and a lot to do as the representative of the emperor in Jerusalem. And Jesus works hard to talk in a way that Pilate does not understand, and in this world perhaps would never understand. The conversation goes like this. So Pilate entered his headquarters again and called Jesus to him. "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my servants would have been fighting, that I might not be delivered over. But my kingdom is not from this world." Then Pilate said to him, "So you are a king?" Jesus answered, "You say that I am a king. For this purpose I was born, and for this purpose I have come into the world, to bear witness to the truth. Everyone who is of the truth listens to my voice." And then Pilate says, "What is truth?" The stakes are high at this point, but it's still the cat and mouse game. The text longs us to ask the question, who's the cat and who's the mouse? Prophets are also anointed in Hebrew tradition. And it is one of the great prophets that lays the groundwork for Jesus' understanding of his mission and his identity as Messiah, as Christ. It's Isaiah. And in one of the marvelous suffering servant hymns that he writes. Again, we'll read this on Good Friday. "Surely this servant of God has borne our infirmities and carried our sorrows. He was wounded for our transgressions, crushed for our iniquities. Upon him was laid the punishment that made us whole. And by his bruises we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned all of us to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all." Jesus embraced that suffering servant. Many times, he says in Mark and Matthew, "Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." A Messiah king, a warrior Messiah, who simply destroys enemies, is the way of this world. But Jesus is not interested in that way. He's committed to the restoration of all things, the forgiveness of all sins. And that happens through his sacrificial offering of himself. So no wonder he's coy with everyone about revealing that he is not a conquering warrior Messiah, but a suffering for all, saving all Messiah. Coy with everyone except this woman. To this woman, he says plainly, "I am he." She is the only person in the Gospels to whom Jesus openly admits and confesses that he is the Messiah, the Christ. Maybe he knew she would understand. Through her own suffering, through her own service, she would know what he meant when he said, "I am he." Now, I'm not saying that there is never a need for a warrior, that there should be no armies, no defense, and no wars. Sometimes all that might be a necessary evil. I am saying Jesus has very little to say about that, and a lot to say about giving ourselves for the life of the world. Jesus is never shy about defending his idea of what the Messiah should be, will be, is in him. He's also never shy about saying, "And you must follow me. You must follow this way that I am." And so this song, this hymn comes, I'll talk about it in a bit. Must Jesus bear his cross alone, and all the world go free? No, there's a cross for everyone, and there's a cross for me. He bore the cross for everyone down the road to Calvary. Now there's a cross for everyone, and there's a cross for me. And there's a cross for me. The consecrated cross I'll bear, till death shall set me free. And then go home my crown to wear, for there's a crown for me. He wore a crown for everyone, alone on Calvary. Now there's a crown for everyone, and there's a crown for me. And there's a crown for me. Upon the crystal pavement down at Jesus' pierced feet, I'll finally cast my golden crown, and his dear name repeat. The name to which all knees must bow, the once for all high priest. I'll finally cast my golden crown, and his dear name repeat. And his dear name repeat. O precious cross, O glorious crown, O resurrection day, ye angels from the stars come down, and bear my soul away. To him who opened paradise, the one that rode to heaven's day, ye angels from the stars come down, and bear my soul away. And bear my soul away. He wore a crown for everyone, alone on Calvary. Now there's a crown for everyone, and there's a crown for me, and there's a crown for me. This poem was written by Thomas Shepard. He was an Anglican priest for a while, and then went to the nonconformist church in England in the 1690s. It was put to music by a fellow named Carl Diggerness. It's one of my songs I sing all Lent. It comes from a wonderful collection of hymns of 16, 17, 1800 century poems. And it's a bunch of writers put them to new music. It's called Songs for Lent, the New York Hymns. And I recommend it to you. There's 14 old hymns that are put to new music, basically following the Stations of the Cross. I love this hymn. I love this text because of the poignancy of what Jesus has done for us. It speaks of that to me. The gift, his death and resurrection, is to everyone and to me. And the call that his death and resurrection is to everyone, and to you and to me. And this week, as I sang it, I thought of this woman at the well, really alone among all the people Jesus met his whole life long. Maybe the only person who understood him before he got to Jerusalem.